first time home buyer seminar. So Keller Williams has so graciously built all this out for you. So I just wanted to, one, make you aware of it, and two, kind of show you all the steps and what's there for you and how you can implement that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Turn this up. Okay, so in KW Connect, so it's kwconnect.com is where you can find all of this. I will also email you both directly all of this information as well, so you don't have to go search for it. But if you ever lose it or not sure where to find it, you can find it in KW Connect. So this is what it looks like. And then if you go to materials, this is where you find all the information. So the first thing is the README seminar instructions. So it's telling you to get all the materials first, download them all, read through everything, especially the marketing plan, customize your presentation and worksheets, and then post to social. Step 6 is the host the actual seminar. So this is based off the book Your First Home that I believe Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, they all wrote this. You can buy it on pretty much any major store or bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all that. You can also get it from kellerinc.com. And they do have an English and Spanish version. So if that is, if you have Spanish speaking clients or you speak Spanish yourself or have a team member that does, they have a Spanish version of this as well. So this could be huge leverage for that, especially if you want to connect with the community. So those instructions are here. So we'll go through all of that. So I've downloaded everything. Again, I will share that all with you. And then the marketing plan. So it kind of has a checklist of identify in your database who was most likely to be interested in attending, call and ask your contacts who they would know that would benefit from the seminar. So even if you have people in your database that may not be a first-time home buyer or may not be ready to buy yet, still, who do you know? Same as like asking for a referral. Identify a geographic area. So you want to kind of, if you can, target a specific area, or if that is something you want to do, get your marketing strategy together and then get started. As always, you want to do this in a TCPA friendly way and all that fun stuff. But the marketing plan is really cool because it has the templates in here for you. So you literally just copy and paste this into an email, which makes it easy. You could send an email out in a smart plan if you wanted to. And I'm going to try to pull up the smart plans on my other screen and see if they have this already built out.
Hey, Rachel, I'm sorry. I missed it where you said where we can find this. I know you said KW Connect. But from KW Connect, where do we find this?
Search for Win Big with Seminars, and I will send you everything. So you don't even necessarily have to worry about searching for it if you don't want to. Yeah, but so it has all the templates in here for you. And then it has suggestions like call them after a few days to follow up, make sure they received it. Half the time things go to spam, or let's face it, people don't read their emails. So they have a secondary version of the email, and then it just kind of goes through follow-up conversation framework, all of that. So they have kind of objections, anything like that, objection handling. So that is all in there. Yeah, calling past clients. So there's conversations, or scripts is the former name of conversation. So all of that is built into the marketing plan for you. That way you have those scripts in there. So just make sure you're very familiar with these before you execute on your marketing plan. So there's door knocking conversation. There's the social media suite. So all of these graphics should be in command for you. And then there are graphics as well that I will send to you that are all of these as well. It's all in a file. So you can find those in the email that I'll send you after this. But those are all in there. These are all social media graphics that you can use to promote your event. Homeownership fact sheet, stuff like that can be helpful to help with conversations as well. So we reviewed the marketing plan and we know what we need to do to implement them. For things like the social media posts, you could schedule these in Command as well. So these are kind of the suggestions for the caption. So again, this is very much plug and play, and it'll save you a lot of time with having to come up. Obviously, you can change it, you can brand it, you can tweak it however you want to. But as far as getting it out there, this should be a huge leverage piece. So you could schedule this in social posting in Command. For the ads, you could schedule the emails to go out in Command and a Smart Plan as well. So there's a lot of automation that you could use in Command for this event. So that's the marketing plan. And then the next step was to customize the presentation. So again, I will send you this presentation as well. But KW has graciously built the majority of it for you. And then you just need to plug and play again your information. So this first, any of the slides that you need to change, edit, it will have this kind of yellow Post-it on there, if you will. And then this first slide also will tell you all of the slides that need, let me move this, that you need to edit, or information that you need to know about. So there is going to be some research that you have to do, but it's going to be relevant to your area that you're targeting and so forth. So it can't, unfortunately, it cannot be, I mean, you could make it national numbers if you want, but it's not going to be as accurate to the area that you're specifically in versus national, because national numbers is not necessarily Columbus numbers. But when you come in here and you're editing these, you can just click on these yellow boxes. And once you see those white circles in the corners, you can just hit delete on your keyboard, and that's how you get rid of those. So for page 2, I want you to insert your name and local neighborhood photo by right clicking. So you're going to change that photo on any of these, you're going to right click on it, hit change picture, and just browse from file. And I'm just going to pick a random person. So Kathy gets lucky. If you want to resize this or change it around at all, you can. Otherwise, you are good to go. And then I'm going to again click and delete that, so I know I have edited that slide. So you will go through, and I mean, this got some cool, obviously agent information and team information, your bio. It's got cool little information in here. And then if you notice at the bottom, there's these framework sections of each one, and this is going to help you kind of with your script on going through the process. And any little information or anything else you need down here, you can always edit and add or take away if you don't like it. So like fear versus facts, that goes on, and it talks about why buy now. This is where you'd plug in interest rates and stuff like that. Mortgage principal versus interest, owning versus renting, all of the good stuff. And you can take some of this out, you can rearrange it. This is your version of it, so you have all of the editing capability that you may want or need, and that way you can plug in additional information if you want to, and stuff like that. So that has all of that in here for you. So once you get all of that edited, I just want to go through, and it does talk about your mobile app. You'll want to make sure you have that app link. Again, I'll show you where you find that in Command. Yeah, so all of the steps basically. So this is, again, this is just a great way for you to make that connection with people, give them the information they need to know right now, because I'm sure a lot of first-time home buyers are a little skeptical right now with the interest rates and inflation and all the things, but this is your opportunity to kind of set the narrative. And then the beneficial of having them, or the benefits of having them download your app, is if they download the KW app with your app link, tell them to create an account. That way you can better help serve them. So when they create an account, if they save any homes or like click on the little heart, it will notify you and add that information into your command. But also when they create an account, it adds their name, email, and phone number to your database if they're not already in there. So for any new recruits, or I'm sorry, any new leads that may attend the first time homebuyer seminar, that's a good way to capture their information as well.
Rachel, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So with the app, my team, we're going to do a home buyer seminar late spring.
Okay.
If I put this up as the team leader, is there a way for me to route people to my team members' apps, or are they all under me, and is there no way to change it?
It would depend on what app link you provide them would be the only, there's not like a team app link. It is still individual based.
Okay.
For that, I would maybe, if you wanted to, you could put QR codes up for, like, if you're doing a whole team event. I know that leaves some area for error. That's not a real big easy fix, but you could do QR codes for specific people. Like,
Okay.
so Courtney could have one, and then Holly could have one, and then so on, and you could have one. So they're scanning based on the agent. Or
Okay.
you could put it, yeah. So there's not a real like easy fix, I will say, for that, for a team scenario.
Okay. Maybe what I'll do is like make a post, like a little postcard for every attendee.
Yeah.
And divide it up by whose lead it is, and have their name, and pass it out at the beginning of the seminar.
Yeah.
And then we can say, scan that QR code to get the app. Okay. That's what
Yeah,
I'll do.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a good one. Or you could send it in like their app link in the confirmation email after they RSVP to the event.
Oh, that's a
That
good
could
idea.
be an
Okay.
option as well. That way, like, go ahead and download this beforehand and stuff like that. And then you could kind of follow up with them once they get there to make sure
Yeah.
they downloaded it.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. That was a great question. Okay, so once you go through and you edit all of this, you're ready to go. So you have that. And then you want to kind of figure out your marketing strategy, where you're going to go, what you're going to post. And then there are also documents in here that are kind of to help you prepare, that you will want to have at the event, whether you make them digital or print them out. But I didn't pull up all of them, but just some of them that would be most helpful. But I will send them all to you. So the checklist, so this is really kind of a really good breakdown of everything you need to do before the event. So prepare yourself. Obviously, reading your first home is not required, but that would be helpful, especially if you're referencing the book. Or maybe if you want to have a few copies, or if like the first, as an idea to get engagement quickly, like the first 10 people who register for your seminar gets the book for free, or you could raffle it off. Anything is possible on what you want to do with the book. But you can, again, get it on Amazon or kellerinc.com. So then again, I'm going to send you all these resources so you don't have to worry about going and finding it on KW Connect. We were reviewing the PowerPoint, make sure you're studying it and internalizing it so you're not reading directly. Just so you are aware, if you want to do this, you could do it here at your own market center, that would be a good place, or somewhere that has the technology. I would do extensive research on availability of space, or you could do this virtually if you really wanted to. So you have a lot of options. You can make this as cheap, or you can spend some money on it if you want to. So this is really a flexible seminar, but it definitely is an important one with the market right now. I feel it's huge. So again, choosing date, time, place would be the next step. We kind of covered and talked about that. And then customize any flyers, invitations, handouts, social medias, that kind of stuff for it. If you are using a specific location, get a sponsor. Contact your Keller Mortgage rep. If you don't know who it is or you don't have one, reach out to me and I will connect you with one. They can co-op, might be able to throw some money at it, and then you can get them pre-approved right then and there if they're not yet. So that would be a good leverage piece. One, to make connection, and then two is to help them with that process even further. Title companies, any other lenders, if you don't like to use Keller Mortgage, those would be great. Maybe a home inspector, something like that. So reach out to your vendors. They should, and almost always are willing to help with events like that. That would help you cover the cost some. You can, if you make an agreement with the buyer, if they're willing to use them as that lender for that transaction, anything like that. Invitations and follow-up. So really the biggest thing with an event is planning it and then executing not only the leading up to the promotion, but also the follow-up. The follow-up is just as important, if not more important, than the execution itself, because you are going to pour a ton of value and information on them. And then there's going to be two types of people. Either one, the type one, who's going to be ready to jump on it and ready to go. And there's going to be type two that just have that moment of overwhelmingness, whether they're hitting a reality of this is a good or not good time for them, or whatever that may be. Maybe they just need to process this. But if you don't follow up with them or try to get any more questions out of them, then they might just kind of fall off, and just making it easier. The follow-up is just as important as the execution. So once you've called everyone, you want to create that list, flyers, email invitations, post on social media, I like the testimonials and from past clients. If you haven't done any seminars, that's okay. If you don't have past clients, if you're brand new, that's okay too. This is a good way to get yourself out there. So you're going to follow up 1 week prior and 1 day prior via phone, text, or social media. I would do all three. I know that sounds like a lot, but unless it's right there in their face every second of the day, they're not going to remember. That's just the world we live in. So day of seminar, just make sure if you are doing something in person, make sure you have your laptop. If you have a clicker, make sure you have your charging cord is important. I would grab an extension cord just to be safe. I am in over-preparer, however, so if you have faith in the facility that you are working with, have at it, but the over-preparer in me would have an extension cord just in case. And honestly, if they don't have either a smart TV I can screen share to, or a way for me to plug directly into my, like an HDMI cord into the monitor or anything like that, it can get hairy with projectors and screens and all the things. But I would, if you are going somewhere that has technology and they will let you test before, I would try to go a day, 2 days, a few days before, just in case if something's not working, you have leverage. And if you want to utilize me to help you make sure, like, hey, this is what they have, this is how it works, I'd be happy to kind of run through and see what you would all need in order to make it successful, as far as technology wise. But if all else fails, we can create a little booklet and you can do it on good old paper. And it's never too digitized of a world to just put it on paper if nothing else fails. Always run through, if there is a microphone, you always want to check that. Have your PowerPoint ready to go. I would, again, over prepare in me, I would have it on my laptop, and I would also have, if you have a little jump drive or external little drive, I would put it on that as well, just in case for some reason they say they have a cord, they don't, your laptop is not compatible, they can just plug it into their computer and then it's up there on the screen if it wouldn't open. Or convert it to Google Slides. That way you can access it pretty much everywhere. So just, again, I know that's kind of the over prepare brain in me, but I want to set you up for success. And I understand technology likes to do its own thing. So giving you all the options to think about. Signage, have balloons, have signs, anything they will let you do, that facility will let you do to help make it clear where you are. That will always help. Have a sign-in sheet, always have a sign-in sheet, name, email, phone number. Are you being represented by a real estate agent currently? Anything you want it to say, don't go too crazy, don't ask 100 questions, but you can have them fill that out a separate sheet like that, but like similar to an open house sign-in sheet. Have a printout of the PowerPoint with room for notes, the lifestyle questionnaire, which I'll send you, attendee worksheet, timeline worksheet, loan application checklist, maybe a flyer for your title rep or whomever is sponsoring if you do have a sponsor. Again, door prizes or gift, like we mentioned, the book, and then have your business cards. Other things you might want to include are like pens. If you're not doing it at a restaurant or area, have snacks, drinks, stuff like that, water at least, just something for them to have and drink. And then the pens, just because especially if you have paperwork for them, like the worksheets and stuff like that, people don't bring pens, let's be real. So that would be the only thing I would add to that list. Guests, once they arrive, greet them, welcome at the door, introduce yourself, ask them their names. If you want to go the extra mile, you can get the little name tags and bring a couple Sharpies so they all have name tags. That makes it easier for you to communicate with them. We talked about sharing your mobile app. Have a reason for your guests to stay after the seminar, whether that's either talking about what inventory you have. A good thing to do would be to have a list of like the brokerage exclusives with you. That way you can, pinpoint, hey, these are the homes that are not yet on the market that I have access to, and so forth. So that could be a good leverage piece. Or if you do have a sponsor like a lender, you could have them get pre-approved right after your seminar. And then the follow-up, again, super important. So set appointments at the end. That would be a good way if you have an iPad, a tablet, or just your computer, or if you're old-fashioned and you have a notebook and you know what times you have, schedule them before they leave. Send thank you notes. The handwritten notes are not underrated. Still do them. That is like the most rewarding feeling for somebody to take the time to write out a note for you and send it to you. Another thing that you could do with the sign-in sheet, if you want to make it digital, you can, and ask for their home address as well, or you can have them write it out, either or. But that would be a good way to make sure you have all their contact information for your database. So that would be a good touch as well. After 1 week, call them, see if they have any follow-up questions. Make sure they took a book and set appointments for those who are ready. I would also powwow with the lender or whomever you sponsored with to see if they generated any of the leads from that, just as a touch, and kind of discuss who's ready for what. And then just keep in touch and offer value. until they're ready to buy. And I know that's sometimes easier said than done, but just, hey, I know you attended the home buyer seminar. I appreciate you coming out. What questions can I answer for you? What stood out the most to you? So like, ask them questions that are not yes or no. That way they have to give you more of a response, and then you can build a conversation from that. So again, this is pretty robust and will be a great tool for you. Just want to show you, so this is kind of one of the attendee forms, so they can fill this stuff out as they go. This is your first home checklist. That might be the same thing. Yeah, that's the same thing. My apologies. And that, why did it pull up the same thing twice? Okay. Let me show you. I'll just pull up this. So there is these worksheets. So there are 7 total, 3 of them. So lifestyle questionnaire was one. And then where's the other one? Oh, it's my first home notes, your first home notes. What is the difference? Maybe that's why. That's okay. So the lifestyle questionnaire. So again, this would be a good way to capture their information. Again, and then they're just kind of filling out like their must-haves. So once you receive this information, so it's afterwards, you've set your appointments, you're ready to follow up with them. After you have filled this out, you'll want to go into Command, update your contacts. So if you need to change any information, add their spouse, add their partner, whatever that is, all of this information, you can do one of 2 things. Well, you could really do both if you wanted to. Set them up on a monthly neighborhood nurture, because I believe, ideal neighborhood. So you would have their email, you would have that. So monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, and I'll show you in just a minute how to do that. And then second would be, if they seem a little more motivated to buy right now, is to do a save search, which is identical to the MLS searches. But it is just branded more to you than the MLS. So all of this information can help you build those. Yeah, so let me pull Command in. I'm going to flip to Smart Plans real quick because I don't want YouTube to get rid of my recording. It doesn't like when I put contact information. So monthly neighborhood nurture is what I'm looking for. And I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to search within my Smart Plans because I have a million of them. So the monthly neighborhood nurture is what you're going to download. So to get that, if you don't have it already, so I'm in Smart Plans in Command, which is this little icon. I'm going to go to Library at the top, and I'm going to search. Actually, you don't even need to do that. You can just scroll down here a little bit to the Keller Williams Smart Plan. So you have 2 options. You have biweekly neighborhood nurture, which would go out twice a month, or you have the monthly neighborhood nurture, which would go out once a month. So if you want the once a month, I'm going to hit Add Smart Plan, and I'm going to. Did someone say something? Okay, I'm just hearing things, so it's totally fine. You would hit Add Smart Plan, you would hit Download. I already have this Smart Plan again, so I don't, I can't download it twice. There it goes. And then all you have to do is add contacts to it. There isn't really anything else to do other than that. You can either type their name or you can search by tag. So anybody I would have in this, I would do the open or first time home buyer seminar. I'd create a tag for that, and you can abbreviate it. FTHB seminar could be your tag if you don't want to spell it all out. or you can just do like client event. It depends on how broad you want to get. But then you would choose that person, you would hit add to smart plan. You can either start them now or start them on a specific date. I'm just going to hit start now, hit confirm, and then they're on it. So I want to show you quickly kind of what they see when you send this stuff to them. And I recommend put yourself on here. You should be in your database. You should be adding yourself to smart plans that you are adding your consumers or your clients, your leads to, just so you are seeing what they're seeing and can help understand kind of what they're looking at. So this would happen after the event or leading up to the event, but you want to make sure you update their contact information first before you are sending this. So one, you're going to use that form to make sure either you or your admin, if you have one, make sure their contact information is correct and make sure you have a neighborhood for them. If you update their address, it'll put the neighborhood in there based on where the address is. Or if you add the neighborhood, you can add them here if you don't have their home address. So just again, to give you an idea of what you're going to see or what they will see. So they will see any listings that are there on the MLS currently for that neighborhood. So this is in Texas, but I just added a random thing. So that's the first thing. If they click on them, obviously they can see the details, and then the map is over here, shows them where each property is located. If you have multiple neighborhoods for that same person, they can toggle through here at the top just to kind of see the different ones. And then if they look at the neighborhood stats, which I personally like, it's going to give you kind of average price point, days on market, how many houses are for sale. And it's going to give you all of those stats. Transit and commute. This is a really nice feature. If they need to know how far it is to work, how far the closest Starbucks is, a dog park, if that's important to them, any specific restaurant, their favorite restaurant, they can search, type in the address, and see how long of a drive that will be. They're going to be able to see nearby schools. And this is third-party information, so you are not on the hook for this. It does public schooling by kind of their grade, if you will. What, the government or whomever that does these surveys and figures out what the best schools are. They have student teacher ratios, what grade that school is, just to kind of give you an idea. They do list private schools as well. Let me switch and see if one of them will pop up. They don't have any of the rankings though, just because they're private. You typically don't gather that information from those surveys and stuff like that. So it will give public and private schools. It does give the student teacher ratios. Sometimes that is important. So great information. All the local nearby highlights, restaurants, grocery stores, cafes, art, entertainment, fitness. And then their reviews, if they click on them, it will take them to Yelp for them to see their reviews. The homes that are for sale in that area, and then nearby neighborhoods, kind of what their numbers are. If you see this NA, it's because there are no listings in that neighborhood that are active as of right now. Always a lead gen form and your information. So this is really helpful to, again, make that automated touch especially for those who are not quite ready to buy yet. But that is a good follow-up piece just to set and kind of keep going, because once you set it up once, it goes out every month. You don't have to renew it. You don't have to change anything unless you want to, and it's all automated in there for you. All right, well, that is all I have for you today. I've got everybody's name on here, so I will send you the information so you'll have a copy of everything. That way you don't have to go dig for it. Is there any questions before we hop off? All right, well, I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much, and I will get that emailed to you today. Bye.